Hello everybody, I am Shepples and welcome back to Let's Play Shadow Man. Alright, so since the last part I have gone and explored the rest of the places, so I know where the rest of everything is. And most importantly, I know where the last retractor is, and it is actually in the cageways. I honestly don't know how I missed it so many times. But it is actually here, and I swear it's been right under my nose all the time. I don't know how I must have walked by it about at least 3 times, but I know exactly where it is. And I just gotta shimmy across here. There's also 2 Cadeaux that I missed that were kind of in a sneaky little place, but easy enough to get. You'd only really see them if you were really looking. Right, so go in here and then here, hop up here. Now there's the 2 Cadeaux up here. Sneaky. So I need to just hop up here, grab them. Now this part I'm probably just gonna get the rest of the stuff, and then I'm gonna stop just before we go and take on the Lizard King. I did turn down the sound, I thought. Just sounds loud for some reason, I don't know why. But yeah, we'll probably just use the rest of this part as just to get the rest of the bits and pieces I've missed, and then we'll go after the Lizard King. Now it's literally just down here, and I could have sworn I went down here before, but obviously I didn't. But I missed it anyway. I think it's because there's 2 ways there. There's that way, and then at the other side you need to move the platform across to get to another area. So I think what happened was I moved the platform across and I forgot to go back to the area. Back to here. So yeah, that was a bit silly of me. Hey, now that could be useful. Right, so we've got the last retractor. That'll bring us to the Lizard King. You know, if you're going against your man, the disco DJ guy, you can hear down in the lower area, you can hear the Lizard King. I am the Lizard King. I'm starting to wonder, will we actually get all these Cadeaux? Because we're doing pretty well. I can't see us missing too many of them. Okay, so we've got that done. Where do we go next? Let me see. Might go back to the Undercity next, because there is a flame sheet here. Only the one. That's all that's left here. So that's not too bad. I think the best way to go would be this way. It's at the start, and I know that this is not far from the start. Yep, there it is. Okay, so we've got that. That was quicker than I thought it would be. Next is... let me see. You have to go back to both temples. Let me see. There's 2. Yeah, we'll go to the Temple of Blood next. And there's also a Dark Soul here. We'll get the last Dark Soul. This is actually the only place that you actually get a Dark Soul behind one of these sheets. But I figured, like, after searching everywhere for the Dark Soul several times, I figured that it'd be behind one of these. Let me see. Take out the baton. It's right in there, which we get to now in a second. But in order to get the Dark Soul, you need the Rada drum, you need the marteo, and you need the flambeau as well. So, boom, and they wake up. I've really enjoyed this game. Like, I know I've had to go back and, you know, look around at every level again, but I don't mind doing that. Actually, I honestly didn't mind doing it. I thought it was I had a bit of fun doing it. I know I had to kill everything all over again and everything, but it was still it was still quite a bit of fun. I still really enjoyed it. Like, I mean, it is a great game. It is a great game. It does have its few flaws, but overall, this is a really good game. Like, it's really well designed. It's really well thought out, and the overall design of, like, all the levels are pretty good. I mean, some of them are a little bit confusing, but you know, it kind of goes with the madness of the game as well. You know what I mean? It was you know, I'd kind of turn around and I'd say, well, everything about this game is kind of mad. You know what I mean? The Asylum says that. So, you know, I wouldn't really worry about maybe one or two of the levels being a little bit confusing, because, hell, you know, this game is about craziness and psychos and that's like yeah, I mean, it's overall like a really well designed game, and it's one that I've really been enjoying playing. Right, time for some explosives. Shit, I didn't mean to fall down there. Oh well. But I mean, it's a lot of fun as well. I mean, as I said, I haven't played a lot of games like this, and I don't know whether it's that's kind of making it a little bit more fun for me. The fact that it's different to like standard games that I have played throughout my life. Like, I can't say I've played many games like this because I haven't. So whether that has something to do with it, I don't really know. But there we go. Are mine. I still have the calabash. Psst. But I mean, it God damn it. I really didn't mean to do that. Thought it would have been safe. No. But I mean, it's it's a really fun game to play. There's no doubt about that. I mean, when it comes to fun, why am I getting a frame rate slow here? I shouldn't be. I haven't all along. And there's nothing going on in the background. So why am I getting a frame rate drop? Never frame rate dropped here before. I don't know, it's just there. I don't know why. It's weird. But yeah, I mean, it's a bucket load of fun, this game. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It probably wouldn't be everyone's cup of tea because it's there is a lot of backtracking. You do have to go back to places and search around for things that you weren't able to get before and things like that. So that wouldn't be, you know, everyone's delight, but I don't mind that. I think it's fun to go around and search for things that were missed. But you know, if you like that kind of idea, I'd really recommend getting this. I mean, for the action alone, it'd probably be worth picking up. I mean, it's only $5.99 US dollars, so you know, like where can you go wrong? I mean, overall, between the Let's Play now and between searching everywhere for everything, I've spent probably about 21, 22 hours at this game now. So I mean, like, I know I'm going back over it again, like, because I'm doing a Let's Play of it, but I mean, you're gonna get probably, depending on if you make a silly mistake like I did and not get the Flambeau and Martu straight away, you're probably looking at maybe 16 hours thereabouts. But I mean, that's not bad. I mean, 16 hours for a game that cost you $5 or $6, you know, you can't go wrong with that at all. Like, like, what else are you going to get that's going to give you 16 hours of entertainment that, like, for that price? I mean, you get a DVD or a Blu-ray or whatever. I mean, that cost you, well, depending if it's brand new or not, or whether you've rented it out from a video store or something, like, that'll cost you, what, about the same price, and you'd only get maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours out of it, on average, unless you're watching Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter. But, you know what I mean, you just, it's a thing that I like about video games. And I think it's something that I've enjoyed even more as I've gotten older. Like, when I was a kid, I didn't really give a shit. But as I've kind of gotten older, I'm looking for more value for my money. So the longer that a game entertains me, the more worth the money was. I mean, there's nothing worse than, I find, I've particularly become more, I've kind of disliked it more over recent years, maybe over the last, say, 4 or 5 years. And that's a game that you pay, say, like, even when it's gone down in price, say €30 or something like that, and you only get about 8 or 9 hours out of it, it still kind of feels, yeah, and you still don't feel that's quite worth it unless it was an exceptional game. I mean, I think the last time I got a game and it cost me €30 was, I'd say it was probably Bulletstorm or something like that. Like, I don't know how long that game was, I can't remember it. I think it was between 8 and 12 hours anyway. But I justified that as being worth it because there's plenty of replay value there as well. Like, it's a game I'd go back to. So yeah, I deemed that worth it. But you know, it all depends. But it's a thing that there's something I find about older games as well. And there's something about older games that you just don't get with modern games. I don't know what it is exactly, but there's a certain feeling that you get from older games, and it's not nostalgia. It's not that. It's something more than just nostalgia. It's very hard for me to put my finger on it, but playing these older games, like, I do really enjoy them. Like, I nearly enjoy them more than I would, some of the newer ones, or at least a lot of the newer ones, because, well, let's be honest, AAA gaming is not what it used to be. There's just something about older games, and there's just, really, that's all that's in here? I thought there would have been some cadeau in here. Well, that was a waste of my time. There's something about older games that there's a little bit more enjoyment to be had out of them. I don't know why. I mean, there's the exceptions of newer games that there's absolute joy out of them. I mean, Malevolence would be one of them. I mean, that game is it's just incredible. Malevolence is just crazy.
Got it.
Why would you put 2 radar drums here and nothing in them? That just bewilders me. Well, fuck that anyway. Okay. Well, with that done, there is one cadeau I missed in the playrooms, but it's actually outside the building itself, so we need to go there because it's right at the start of the level. But yeah, there's a few exceptions of newer games that I find are extremely worth the money that you pay for them. I mean, Malevolence is one of them. I mean, it's the first ever infinite game created. Like Alex Norton actually created the technology to make a world actually infinite. And what's even more amazing is that he put it into a file size that is quite minimal as well. And he's not even nearly finished with that game yet. There's so much more that still has to be added into it. Like, even now, there is just buttloads of stuff to be added into it. And it's already an amazing game. And, you know, it's worth every bit of money that you pay, because it's a game that it doesn't have to end. The only time it ends is if you die. You know, I know there's not really any storyline in it at the moment, but there's going to be, I don't know what exactly, but there is going to be a storyline of some kind put in the expansion. I don't know what way that the storyline is going to work, but I know that there is a storyline to be put in. And but like, the only time the game ends is if you die, and you know, there's lots more to be put in, like underworlds, or sorry, you know, like underground cities. There's, you know, there's going to be a demon realm, which is going to be infinite also, so it's like having 2 infinite worlds in one. There's and like, he's revamping the magic system, which is next on his list. There's so much more to do with Malevolence, and he's not even nearly finished. And with that said, the game is already at an amazing, like, you know, it's at an amazing state already. Like, it's super stable right now. But I mean, like, by the time the game reaches version 1.0 and it goes into, you know, and then the expansion as well, you know, you're going to be looking at a massive game with so much to do and everything. It's going to be great. Like other games that I'd sort of say are an exception would be something like Don't Starve. That's another really, really good game. Really unique game. I'm trying to remember where the entrance to this place is, and I can't. Like, Don't Starve is another permadeath game that it's about survival, and I'm sure a lot of you have probably played it, because it's a really good game. It's difficult because it's the way that I like games. It doesn't hold your hand in any shape or form. Everything you have to figure out yourself through trial and error. And I think it's fantastic. I think it's a great game. I really do. This is the Undercity. God damn it. Sorry. I always have difficulty finding this. But yeah, it's just one of those games that just throws you right in the deep end. You get no tutorials, you get no help, you just gotta survive and just do whatever the hell you can, and that's it. And it's great. But it's a game that, you know, the more you play it, fuck's sake. This isn't it either, so it must be further back. Balls. Sorry about this. You know, the more you play it, the more you learn what not to do, you learn what you need, and it's a really good game. It's really well designed. I mean, I'm not great at it myself, because, you know, I usually get, what's the furthest I'd say I got? I'd say the furthest I got was to maybe day 70 something, or something like that, and I made a boo-boo and I ended up dying. This must be it. Yay! Alright, it's down in the water here. But I mean, the hardest thing about Don't Starve is not just dying, it's the fact that you have to keep your sanity levels, like, up, you have to keep your health up, you have to keep your character, you know, fully fed and everything else, and yeah, it's here that we have to go. And there's 4 flame sheets inside, and there's 4 radar drums. This is the last place now. You know, like, and it's hard to kind of keep all that together, and I think what killed me at my highest, at my best run, was my sanity. I just eventually, my sanity got a little bit too low, and I ended up, he ended up hallucinating, and he started, all his hallucinations actually started to hurt him. Because once your sanity reaches a certain low, these monsters just start appearing and things, and then once it reaches low enough, these monsters will actually like begin to hurt you, even though they are just a figment of his imagination, and they will kill you. So that's kind of, you know, it's a great game to try. Another one is again, it's permadeath. It seems to be the in thing with indies, but it's called Sword of the Stars, the Pit, I think it's called. They've had a number of DLCs as well for it now. That's another great game as well. Again, permadeath, but it's a lot of fun. I really like that game. It's literally a permadeath roguelike. It's quite enjoyable. I'm trying to think of a game that kind of it's similar to, but I just can't put my finger on it. You know, it's kind of like I don't know. There's a name on the tip of my tongue, and I just can't sort of remember. But the idea of it is to get to the bottom of this place and basically get a cure for some sort of zombification, I think, if I remember correctly. And it's something like, I think it could be 50 floors down. It's either 40 or 50. And each level it gets harder, and you have to scavenge, and you have to keep yourself fed, you have to you know, you have to kind of reserve your ammo and things like that, and you find recipes to craft stuff, and, you know, it's like that, but it's really, really good. And also the combat is turn-based as well. but it's a lot of fun. You should check it out. It's a great game. I plan on doing a let's play of it once I get the new computer. It's a little bit jittery on this one. Like it's possible for me to do a let's play of it, but it's still a bit jittery and it kind of ruins the experience. It's noticeable. Like if you're running at about 30 frames per second, it's not really that noticeable, but when you're going down to about 20, then it's noticeable. And like those of you who've seen my Malevolence videos, you can see how affected it is at about 20 frames per second. But the reason that I wanted to do Malevolence was because back then I didn't... Ah, crap, sorry. Monitor, there we go. The reason I did videos back then is because, you know, I was doing it for the community and I was doing it for new players. I was never really thinking of, you know, doing this regularly. But then, you know, as time went on, and I kind of, you know, I found that I enjoy doing it, and, you know, and when people were watching videos and enjoying them, then it made me enjoy doing it even more, and, you know, it's just something that I really genuinely enjoy doing, so, yeah, I do it. You know, I mean, I don't do it because, you know, I necessarily want to make like money out of it or become the next PewDiePie or anything like that. I just do it because I enjoy doing it, and that's it. Like, so it was kind of Malevolence that started off by just doing, you know, like guides to help new players, and then once people said that they enjoyed it, and you know, it made me enjoy doing it even more, and so I just started doing it on a regular basis. And it's awesome. You know, it's absolutely awesome. I really enjoy doing it. Okay. But I mean, like I said, I didn't mind the frame rate, and people, like, you know, you guys, you didn't mind me. I mean, you didn't mind the frame rate. You still wanted me to continue making them despite the frame rate, which is absolutely awesome, because it was strange, because the frame rate I would have thought would have pissed people off quite quickly, but sure enough, you guys kept wanting more Malevolence, so I kept dishing out more Malevolence. But I'm gonna be doing another season of that soon, actually. Just waiting for the Magic update to be released, and then I'll get stuck back into it. But by then I should have the new computer, so that'll be even better. I'll be flying like, I don't know. I was trying to come up with something there and it just went blank. I'll be flying around so quickly with the new computer that it'll be like a greyhound on cocaine or something like that. I don't know. Usually I can come up with something, but I don't know, my brain's not working today. Or a kid on a sugar rush. There, we'll stick with that one. Ah, bollocks. I didn't want to fall down there. Right, okay, never mind. We'll go along this way. Doesn't really make that much of a difference. But yeah, I mean, there's quite a few modern games out there that I think the reason why those games are so enjoyable is because there's a certain old game vibe to them. I mean, Malevolence is directly aimed at being old school. That's, you know, Alex would admit that any day. But, you know, things like Don't Starve and even Sword of the Stars, they have a lot of old school in them, and I think that's what makes them even more enjoyable, because they're made by gamers for gamers. It's as simple as that. Right, this is where the flame sheets are anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'm kind of knocking two birds with a stone here. you know, so that's probably why I enjoyed them so much, because they sort of reminisce the older games, which is absolutely great, because not enough games do that these days. Like, unfortunately, there is a lot of developers, I put that in inverted commas, like, you know, that are literally abusing this Steam Greenlight system, and I don't know how they do it, but they get games through that are hardly even fucking games. I mean, you know, there should be some sort of, you know, quality assurance there. Like, you know, they should have a team that plays these games before they're allowed to be released on Steam, and they need to be turned around and said, look, this game's a piece of shit. This is not even a game. This game cannot be released. It's still in alpha stage. You know, there's been it's something that gaming journalists are always going on about. Like Jim Sterling, he's gone on about it a few times, and he does a lot of early access videos as well, where he plays early access games on his own Jim Sterling channel, and he has often given out about the quality of certain games, and I don't blame him. I mean, you know, like some of the games I've seen in Greenlight, like I support. You know, I'll turn around and I'll say, yeah, okay, I'll do my bit to help this game get greenlit. But I've seen some games and I wouldn't touch them with a 30-foot barge pole. There's not a hope I'd support them, because they either look absolutely sort of not bad, that'd be incorrect, because I don't like to put down anybody's work, but there's those games that are just, you just know that there's something not right there. You know that they're either getting greenlit to milk money out of it, or you're gonna get a game that's gonna be absolutely dirt, that is just someone trying to make a quick buck. And unfortunately these games do get through, because fuck, that's it, I'm teleporting back. Like, there's these games that just, I don't know how they get released. I don't know, but they're either near enough unplayable, or they're so bad that nobody would even dare play it. It works like that, and you know, I've seen some of them, and I through Jim Sterling's channel more than anything. You know, he literally goes out after these games on Steam. He goes after these games and he rips them apart, and that's kind of his idea, because he's a man that believes in quality. Like, a game doesn't have to be flashy, it doesn't have to be top A graphics or anything like that. Jim Sterling's not like that. With him, it's down to playability and all that, and if he goes after these games that shouldn't be released on Steam, even under early access, there's some games that shouldn't be released on Steam, because they're just not at the point that they need to be. Like, a game that's on early access should be at least in its beta stage. When you get games that are under early access, people are paying money for them because of it being in early access, and they're, you know, it's hard to even call some of them past a prototype stage, and yeah, you know, it just happens, unfortunately, and it's really sucks because like I'm not an early access player myself, really, with the exception of 11s. But I've been with 11s before it ever got greenlit or anything like that. So it just excited me when I first saw a screenshot on the game creators website. I was really excited about 11s because it really reminded me of Daggerfall. And sure enough, you know, I got in, I kind of got joined the forums then because it hadn't even reached open beta by that point. But I joined the forums and, you know, I asked questions and got to know the community and that. And then before I knew it, I was fucking, and the game was brought into open beta, and before I knew it, yeah, I became very much a regular of the forums. And I wouldn't change it for the world, because like they're all great people on the Levelins forums. They really are. They're, you know, they're all really nice, and like, you know, they're gamers just like me, just like you. You know, they're just ordinary gamers, you know, and you can talk about games, you can talk about Malevolence, you can talk about whatever the fuck you like. Well, fair enough, with a few exceptions, most likely, but, you know, there's no sort of like, you can't talk about that here. You know, there's none of that. I mean, if you want to talk about other games, there's a specific section on the forum, and you can just talk about other games. You can talk about indie games, you can talk about AAA games. They don't care. You know, because, you know, they're just gamers. And they like to hear about different games and things like that. And it's great. Excuse me. Now, this part's taking me a bit longer than I had hoped, but how many radar drums is that? Is that 2 or 3? It's 3, I think. I'm pretty sure it's 3. Yeah, it is. So we've got one more. Fine, and then we're out of here. And sure enough, here it is. I think this is... I should have been counting, but I was too busy talking. I forgot to count. I'm pretty sure. I'll know in a minute anyway, afterwards. There we go. Alright, I've got the Marteo out. Bong! We're nearly done here. The last one's on top, isn't it? It's on the actual top of the statue. So I need to jump up there. But yeah, as I was kind of saying, you know, these older games, they've got, you know, there's just something about them, and they're just awesome. Why didn't I want to open them? And even some of the newer games that do, you know, they have that old feel to them, like those titles that I've mentioned. There's probably many more out there, I just don't know them. I mean, I suppose another one that you could add to that list is The Binding of Isaac. Like Rebirth has only just been released there not too long ago, which is the remake of The Binding of Isaac. It's basically got a heap of stuff added to it, like heaps more items, heaps new features, and it's also been optimized as well, so it's a lot more compatible with various systems. Like, the problem with the original Binding of Isaac is that it was done on a Flash engine, so it was kind of unstable at times, and, you know, it's still laggy every now and then on some people's computers, even though the computers were monsters. They're absolute beasts, but that's just the way that it went. And but they, I can't remember his name, Edmund something or other is is the main guy's name. I can't remember his name, but he went out and his aim was to fix this with the remake, but he was going to add in like tons of new items and features and things like that. And yeah, he's changed the graphics to 16-bit as well, which he left that to the community to decide as well, because he put up a poll on the forums, I think, or something like that, on the Binding of Isaac forums, asking people, and a majority of them said yeah, they don't mind. Others said, you know, don't care. I think it was only about 4% didn't like it or something like that. But overall, he got like, you know, quite positive comments on changing the graphics to 16-bit. Like I've seen a couple of videos on the Binding of Isaac Rebirth. I haven't got it myself yet, but the graphics aren't that much different. I mean, you can see the difference between 16-bit and what it was, which was probably 32. But I mean, the game runs much faster. There's no doubt about that. Like, I think it's Matthias Games, I think is his name. He's done a lot of the old Binding of Isaac, and he's been doing Rebirth as well, and you can see the difference, like. So yeah, right, get out in there, open up the way. Alright, so I'm gonna leave it here for this part, guys, and the next part we're going after the Lizard King. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Thank you, and have fun.